Hi, everybody. Welcome to the New Moon Astrology Report for July 17th, 2023. So today we have the New Moon in Cancer, and the key seeds in this New Moon in Cancer, just for the next 18 months, is really to be honest about what you need to do to make yourself feel good in the life that you're living. This new moon in Cancer is an invitation to be honest about the fears, about the walls, about the limitations, about the barriers that we have codified in our own lives that have prevented us from really manifesting what we want. And this isn't a surface level manifestation. This is not surface level work. This is some down to the marrow, in the nitty gritty work. And I say this because we have the sun and the moon are going to be making an opposition to Pluto that is currently retrograde. And Pluto that's currently retrograde is saying, what about the traditions? What about the structures? What about the energies that you have inherited are holding you back? And what are you going to do to really make a life that fits for you? When the moon is in Cancer, this is about home. This is about what you're nurturing. This is about your safe place. It's about what is feeding the roots and the fodder of your life. And in one way or another, something has to go. And when there's an opposition to Pluto, it's going to probably be a lot. And that's okay, because whatever you're letting go is going to give you room to really build and to nurture and to seed things that do work for you. And this moon is going to also be trining Neptune. That's also retrograde. And Neptune in retrograde, it says, what are you dreaming? What are you allowing yourself to extend and to create in your subconscious? How much of your energy can be beneficial to you if you use it for you, right? And if you allow yourself to really consider this and apply this energy, then this is going to bring you in a beautiful direction, especially since today we also have the North Node moving into Aries and the South Node moving into Libra. And so for the next 18 months, it's going to be about you doing what you need to do for you. North Node in Aries is going to say to you, what are you doing? What are you feeding? How are you using your actions? All of that passive aggression, all of that extra energy that you've been giving to other people, what happens if you give yourself even half of what you've been giving to other people? What happens if you give yourself as many opportunities for consideration? What happens if you gave yourself as many chances as you gave people who really honestly in one way or another made it very clear to you that you weren't a priority? What happens if you make yourself your priority? And what happens if you show up as yourself in your relationships? Do these relationships grow? Do they transform? Do they fight? Do they block? Whatever it is for the next 18 months, you're gonna be cutting some karmic ties here. Like this whole ride or die, I'll be with you no matter what you do energy is out the window, guys. Like, please be your own ride or die. Please be your own warrior. Please be your own best friend. And from that place, you can actually decide if connections and relationships are still worth your time and worth your energies. And in some way or another, I'm going to say that some of these things are not, especially since we have Mars that's going to be making an opposition to Saturn. And this is Mars in Virgo that wants to really use this time and use this structure to come with the best goals. And if it's not, Mars opposing Saturn retrograde is going to be like, nah, we're out. And you have to be willing to say, I'm done. And not just because it's a reflection of the fact that you're frustrated with other people, but more about the fact that you want to use that energy and you want to use that time and you want to use that development for yourself. And honestly, anybody who's really down for you is not going to have a problem with this. If somebody has a problem with you investing in yourself, I would say lean on that South Node in Libra and say, gotta go, right? And that's okay, right? If anybody or anything is not down with your evolution, then why are they part of your process? And I'm just going to be really blunt about this, especially since we have Neptune. Retrograde is really highlighting in this. So let's look at what Neptune's doing. Neptune is trining the sun, trining the moon, and sextiling Pluto. So where you're honest about what needs to be released so that you can create, you're going to get headway. Also, if you're holding on to something that really isn't right for you, you're going to pay the price for it. And at some point, you're going to have to say, I need to do this for me. So be about your business, be about your healing, be about your connections, be about your honesty, and see what happens when you bet on you instead of betting on other people. I love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow.